Afternoon, Lead Bullets for Life here. Thanks for joining me today. Today, guys, I'm going to do a little video on this special mold that I had bought maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And what it is, it's a 40 caliber round nose single cavity. And I paid like really cheap for it. I got maybe $25, $30 for it at the time that I bid for it. It's a single cavity, so no big deal. But anyways, I made a couple of bullets out of it with it, and they weigh out to be about 170 grain. And I was like, well, that's pretty good. I can use it for the 40 Smith & Wesson. And I haven't fired my 40 Smith & Wesson in quite a while, so I'm going to do a video on that. So anyways, getting back to the mold here, there's no markings on the mold. It appears to be homemade, like a copy of the Lyman single cavity. I mean, if you look at the screw plate, it's pretty homemade looking. So I'm using a Lee 6 cavity handle, and it works just fine for it. But yeah, I tried to look for the markings on it, find out. I even tried to go back to my eBay history. I couldn't go back on it because it only goes back 3 years. So I know it's been more than 3 years, practically 5 or so. But it's a good sound quality mold. It makes good bullets. So I'm going to cast some bullets and do a casting. I got some lead melting right now. I'm making about maybe 100 or so, just to make about, like a battle pack size, just for testing. We'll use several powders, Power Pistol and Alliant Unique. And that'll be our test powders for the test coming up. So we got some lead melting, and what I did was I prepped the 420 Lee production pot, cleaned it all out, and now it heats up within like 5 minutes. So I got about maybe 4 or 5 pounds of lead, just enough to make about 100 rounds. Okay, so well filled out bottoms. And about 110 bullets ready to be powder coated. That'll be our next step. So right now I have about 100 plus shells being cleaned and tumbled, and we'll check those out in about maybe 5 minutes. Alright, so here are the finished products. They're about 110 or 12 or so. I just made a few more in case I find defects. Getting back to this mold, I was going to put this mold on eBay, but I didn't have a brand name for it. There's no markings on it, there's no cherry number on it. Doesn't even have a size or a weight on it. So I decided to take it off the eBay market and just keep it. Alright, so we're zeroed out. Let's just grab one randomly. $173, 174, that's about right. I can use the 175 grain data. And let's go ahead and do some measurements. Okay, so we're measured out at about, I'm going to say 406 or so, so I'll have to size this down with the Lee sizer die to about 401, and that should go ahead and be decent. Okay, so we got the first coat on it. Now if you look, there's some splotchiness there, a little bit of splotchiness, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a second coat. They came out really nice though. But I want to make sure that they don't let the barrel up, so second coat will be in order here. We'll try it again. Okay, so here's the second coating, and these came out perfect. They're coated 100% all the way through. So these should have no problem going down the barrel without letting the barrel. Alright, so let's go ahead and take them in the sizer die. I got a Lee 0.401 sizer. Yeah, these double-coated bullets came out much better. It was worth the effort, actually. All right. Okay, let's do some weights and measurements. All right. 175.9 or 176. Grab another one off random. 175.5. 174.4. Yeah, within two. Let's go ahead and do measurements. Looks about 401. It's about right. Yeah, 401. All right. Okay, we'll start the priming, and we will prime it with my single stage RCBS primer system. And after that, we'll start doing the charges. Okay, we're done with 100 cases of primed 40 caliber Smith & Wesson cases using CCI small pistol primers. Alright, we'll start charging them up. Makes it easier to load on a tray. If you're going to do a single stage powder throw. Alright, so I got 50 shells in the tray here, and we'll go ahead and put a charge of unique in them, in each one of them. Okay, so we're going to take one of the last remaining loaded shells and drop it in the pan. 4.7. Okay, we'll place the charged shell into the holder. Add our bullet. Nice and belled out. Okay, so there's 50 loaded 40 Smith & Wesson, and here's the measurements here. Like 1.14, 13.5. That's about right up to where the cannula is too, with just a slight taper crimp. Okay, so for the power pistol we have 5.9, and that's minimum for the Lyman cast bullet book. Alright, so this is where I got my load data from, right here. So I got a 175 grain bullet at 1125 overall length, and mine's actually 13.5 overall length, which is the maximum for this cartridge here. And so 4.8 the lowest charge for the unique, and 5.9 for the power pistol. Okay, let's do the plunk test now. We'll grab one of these, drop it in the, and there we go. I love that sound. Okay, slips in, slips out, slips in, slips out. So it's taper crimped. Overall length is the way it's supposed to be for this bullet. And one more thing with this bullet, I checked the manual here, and the closest thing I saw to this bullet diameter, this was actually, I think, measured out at 406. The 4070 and bullets in that nature there were actually 408. Of course, 416 Rigby, the 405, which is actually a let me look here, 413. That's too big. You got the 4070 sharps, and that goes to 409. And then you have the 465, and that's around 408 to 410. So I couldn't find nothing in this book that this bullet had any use for. So downloading it to a 401 made a perfect 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge. So we'll just use it as that. So I don't know what the person who invented this mold, this homemade mold was designed for, but apparently, you know, he didn't need it no more, and I figured, well, I'll buy it. It was a cheap price. I think I paid 20 bucks for it at the time. And again, I couldn't sell on eBay because I didn't have any name denomination on it. It wasn't a Lyman, it wasn't a, you know, RCBS or anything like that. So I took it off the bidding list and then just kept it for myself. So we're going to test these out tomorrow at the range.